Coming to you this day from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House, my name is Dave Barber in a segment we call Capitol Spotlight. We do them each Tuesday right before session, and we're able to collar 3 or 4 members of the General Assembly and discuss some of the things they have been working on and what impact it might have on you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman we've talked to before, the Honorable State Representative Anthony Giarrusso. Representative, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave. Thank you for having me.
I know you and your colleagues have been extremely busy, and obviously everybody's eye is still very much on the economy. And being a small business owner yourself, you know how important jobs are to making things better here in our state.
Oh, it's nothing more important than jobs. I mean, you know, that it keeps the people off the unemployment rolls, and it keeps everybody paying their mortgages and everybody staying in their homes. They don't have to worry about where you're going to move to or how you're going to put food on the table.
Now, I know that you have been working on a couple of bills that deal specifically with economic development. One deals with the creation of an executive office of economic development. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's basically, Dave, you know, economic development, you know, it's important. So make it important. So it should be a cabinet level position, just like anything else that has a cabinet level position. It's really what you're reaching out to companies outside of Rhode Island, trying to lure them in, trying to see what we can do to change our business climate. So it's extremely important. Let's make it important and stop talking about it.
So this would be one particular person whose job would be to supervise and spearhead economic development here in Rhode Island?
Absolutely, and it has to be, there's some criteria set in, and that's up for discussion. You know, it could be negotiated. The way the bill reads right now, the person has to be somebody that has business experience, that has run a company of 1,200 employees or more. I mean, that could be negotiable, but we want somebody like that. We don't want somebody that ran like a small business, and then, you know, and it's like just get him in the job. We don't want it to be like one of those appointments.
Well, it sounds to me you'd want somebody in that position that's a serious player. But when you talk about somebody that's run a company with 1,200 or more employees, you're probably talking about somebody that's used to making a big fat paycheck.
Exactly, you know, and that came up. I mean, I thought about that. It's like, you know, do you want a guy that's probably making $5 million a year right now, coming in and paying whatever we can pay, which obviously isn't that. But at that level, once you've done everything you can in a corporate world, you give back. Like me, for instance, you know, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to make a difference. And hopefully we can find people like that. And I'm sure we can. I mean, there are a lot of people that work in all branches of economic development throughout the country that are making $1 a year. So we can get a person like that.
You know, it's interesting. I met a gentleman recently who was very successful in business, was involved at the Fortune 500 corporate level, retired fairly early, got a little bored, took a position currently with the governor, making a modest state salary, but is thrilled to be doing it. You know, a lot of people who might be 50 plus, let's say, who have left the corporate world, we have a tremendous resource pool of talent that might just exactly fit the bill of what you're talking about.
I agree with you 100%, and we should leave no stone unturned. It could be somebody from inside of Rhode Island, but instead of looking, you know, from the outside in, we should be looking from the inside out and just find whoever we can the best person for that job.
Tell me about this other piece of legislation involving the Economic Policy Commission, Advisory Commission. What's that all about?
That's just to set up a commission that they meet. No, it's arbitrary how many times per year, but they're just out there. They're feelers all over the country and all over the world to try to, you know, report back to the Secretary of the Economic Development Office to say this is what we come up with, and there's just to broaden the base, get some really good ideas out there.
Well, and I'll tell you something else. Recently, a company came to Pawtucket, Tunstall Americas, a health information service company. And when they were looking for places and seeking proposals, Rhode Island came in dead last because of some of the challenges that exist in doing business. But when they put their heads together with the governor's office, with the treasurer's office, the mayor of Pawtucket, they were able to make the numbers work, and they came to the Ocean State. I think what you're talking about in this Policy Advisory Commission we've got to get more creative in our state.
There's no question about it, Dave. And the thing that comes to mind is Airbus, for instance. You know, they're based out of Europe, and they set up a company or a manufacturing plant in the United States, and I think they're in Alabama or something. But Rhode Island never entered that conversation. And why? I mean, Quonset Point is huge. We have land, we have sea, we have rail, we have everything there, airport. So there's no reason why we couldn't build airplanes. I mean, we need to get the word out there that Rhode Island's open for business, and let's get really, really serious about that.
Well, and you know about that because you're in business yourself, and you have to make payroll every week, and you've experienced it up close and personal.
Absolutely.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best, not only in your other life away from this building, but to you and your colleagues in the Rhode Island House.
Thanks, Dave.
And of course, we could not do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dave Barber, and this is Capital Spotlight.